What would you do if your child uttered a racist remark, especially in front of the person it was directed at? In today's story, a mother's choice is a masterclass in how to handle it. It was just a typical evening about a week ago when our family decided to order Chinese food for delivery. My daughter, Sarah, who is 16, was in the middle of taking our cat, a mischievous ginger tabby, upstairs to her room. He has an uncanny knack for trying to get at our food the moment it arrives. As the delivery driver approached our front door, my 13-year-old son, Alex, suddenly blurted out, "Make sure to hide the cat from the Chinese guy." His voice, still in that awkward preteen register, carried clearly, undeniably reaching the ears of the driver who was standing right there as I took the food. The driver's expression visibly stiffened, a flicker of hurt and offense crossing his face. I felt a rush of mortification and quickly offered a sincere apology as I completed the exchange. The moment the door closed, I turned to Alex, my voice firm. "Racist jokes are completely unacceptable and deeply wrong," I told him, the words leaving no room for argument. To my frustration, he simply shrugged, refusing to acknowledge any wrongdoing. This reveals Alex's greatest fatal flaw, his immaturity and inability to empathize, which ultimately sealed his fate that evening. Later that night, the real punishment began. I compelled Alex to sit down and write a heartfelt apology to the delivery driver, whose name I found on the receipt. But that wasn't all. He also had to write a one-page paper delving into Chinese culture and another one-page paper explaining how racist jokes and stereotypes perpetuate racism. There was no escaping this task, no internet shortcuts or half-hearted attempts allowed. I hovered, ensuring he understood the gravity of each word. The next day, with a knot of anticipation in my stomach, I took Alex back to the Chinese restaurant. I made him stand before the same delivery driver and read his apology aloud. The words, though written the night before, seemed to catch in his throat as he delivered them. Then, he presented the two papers he had meticulously written. The driver, a kind man, was clearly touched. A warm smile spread across his face, and he expressed his sincere appreciation, thanking me for making Alex take responsibility. Then, he looked at Alex, his gaze serious, and began to recount multiple instances where he had faced similar racist comments and even attacks during his time as a delivery driver. Alex listened, his usual defensive posture slowly crumbling, replaced by a quiet, contemplative silence. That night, a storm brewed at home. My husband, Robert, aged 43, and I got into a heated argument about the punishment I had inflicted on Alex. Robert argued that it was humiliating for our son to have to apologize in such a public manner and declared that the punishment didn't fit the crime. I countered, my voice rising with indignation, that it was far more embarrassing for the driver to endure such racism and stereotypes, and that Alex would simply get over his temporary discomfort. I believe firmly in a household free of hateful thinking, and Alex's remark had deeply embarrassed me as well, but Robert persisted, dismissing it as just a joke and not that big of a deal. It was infuriating to hear that, and it made me realize how widespread this problem is. As one person eloquently put it online, "Sounds like your husband could use the lesson too." I pondered if I had perhaps overreacted, but the conviction that it was crucial for Alex to grasp the hurtfulness and wrongness of his words quickly quelled any doubt. Many echoed my sentiment, with one commenter stating, "Your son may have been embarrassed, but he should be embarrassed for having said a racist joke. That kind of joke is meant to embarrass and humiliate the target, the delivery guy. You did right by your son by turning that around and showing him that his attitudes and jokes are the real embarrassment. Soon he will be too old to teach not to be racist. You are a great parent and I hope your son takes this lesson to heart." Another resonant comment highlighted the deeper issue at play. "Your husband's attitude is precisely the problem and is why systemic racism continues to propagate in this country. Kudos to you for a very just and well-thought-out lesson for your son, which I hope he can truly learn from and perhaps help solve some of the issues that are breaking our society apart. Perhaps your husband needs to do some similar homework in our ed grads to what racism is and how it harms not simply the people it is directed at, but all people as a whole. Honestly, I am so proud of you, in the most non-condescending way possible, for being such an excellent example of a person for your family." This further cemented my belief that my actions were justified. The punishment, I believe, fit the crime perfectly. My goal was for Alex to understand the far-reaching consequences of his actions, both for individuals and for society at large. This approach felt far more impactful and appropriate than simply grounding him or any other conventional punishment. It still puzzles me that my husband objected to the apology, as asking a teenager to apologize for being extremely rude is, in my opinion, a baseline expectation of responsible parenting. This story serves as a powerful reminder that accountability and education are paramount when confronting prejudice. It highlights the importance of addressing racist remarks head-on, not dismissing them as just a joke. What are your thoughts on how this situation was handled? And what would you have done differently?